In our page speed suggested summary section, you notice that we have this Minify business listed twice. One to minify our JavaScript, another one to minify our CSS. Uh, Minification is the process of removing any unnecessary code or characters from your code that just increases the overall file size of these elements. Now, when we look at something like our main.css folder, what we have here is a pretty code, if you will. We have a bunch of, well, first we have comments that, as the author, help us know what's going on. Things are nicely spaced, and we have tabs over here that it makes everything look beautiful and really easy for us to read. But from the computer's perspective, a carriage return, this space is code. I mean, is a character. So this is adds a bit to the file size. This tab over here, this indentation, that's 4 characters. That's just extra space. All this extra space that we commented out over here, that we say, hey, you don't need to worry about it, this is just for us. Well, it doesn't need to worry about it in the sense of parsing it, but it still adds to the overall file size. So minification is what you do, sort of like one of those last step things before you send it up to from production, which means you're working on it, to live. You want to strip all this stuff out so that your file is as lean and as mean as possible. So let's use our min.css as an example. First thing I'm going to do now with this I mean main.css. Actually, that's sort of telling you where I'm going over here. Here's my main.css file, and it's 34 kilobytes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a duplicate of it, and I'm going to name this main.min for minimize.css. Now, this kind of like file name dot min dot extension is something you'll see common when you download all sorts of jQuery plugins and JavaScript. It stands for it's the minified version. Often when you download a plugin or some CSS, you see 2 versions. You see the regular uncompressed, and you see the compressed version, or I'm sorry, minified, just to be specific. And that's because the minified is good when it's live, but it's useless when it's local because it's unlegible. So, but anyway, let me actually, instead of talking about it, let's actually do it, and we'll see what it looks like in action and compare it both visually and as far as the actual file size goes. A lot of tools out there to do it. A lot of good online tools, and what's beyond the scope of this is how to automate this process. But if you just go in Google min CSS, probably even type out minify, but here you go. Here's a great website, cssminifier.com. And let's look at what it's going to do for us. So we have our file open, not main.css. We'll leave this alone. That'll be what we use to work on all the time. But we'll take this guy. I'll copy all of the code from here. And then I'll go to this min, I'll go input CSS, and come on, baby, minify it into a whole jumbled mess over here. You see that? Great, sort of, right? I mean, this is helping us out as far as file size goes, but you could see how hard, if not impossible, it would be to actually work with something like this. So I am going to copy this. Interesting, I just noticed over here, it didn't take out this comment at the very top, but it seems to have taken out a lot of other stuff. I wonder, you may even be able to, well, let's not even go there. Let's just take this and go here, and we'll save it, and look what happens now. It's all just one big rambling line of code. I guess, like, interesting, this left some of our comments in there, which some do, some don't. I guess the point is this may be even further optimized, but let's save this minified version, and now let's go back to our CSS and look at this. So we reduced this by more than half. So you know what that actually says? more than half of the code in our document was spaces and tabs and indents. Um, I'm surprised that this didn't strip out all of our comments. Let me go main CSS, remove comments. I just wonder if it'll. Uh, let's see if there's something even more pure. You'll find. Anyway, you could see. Yeah, here we go. The importance in these. You start looking around. You're gonna find so many different places to do this. Look at this CSS tidy. Here's another. These are more. What we're looking at here are more along the lines of automation tools that are, like I said, a bit beyond the scope of this because you do need to uh, have server access and that kind of thing. I'm just going to look at anything that it says here. It says optimize shorthand, yes, but common, discard invalid. Just trying to see if we could even go even further with this. I mean, at this point, we're just getting crazy over here. Let's see if we put our minified in, if we could even compress it even more. Yeah, look at this. This source over here, actually even better. I like. I mean, if I'm minifying it, screw the comments, right? Because they're not helping anybody. So yeah, I'm just gonna take even this one, csscompressor.com. You know, I show you one option and there'll be a million more. Before I save this, let's see how much more it even saves with the removing the comments. We're at 15 kilobytes now, so that's with comments. Let me save it, and now we're at a whopping 14. Yeah, we're nitpicking here. Screw it. Why not? If we're minifying, might as well do it right. Obviously, the last part of this would be that you want to update your index.html to have .min, and I mean, honestly, we've reduced a lot just with our CSS alone by minifying it. So nice work there.